All right, if everyone wants to, well, if you want to stay in the shade, you can definitely stay in the shade. But if folks want to gather around, we're going to have a few folks say a few words. And again, it turned out way hotter than we expected. We thought it was going to be nice and cloudy today, but we get the sunshine, so can't complain. We're going to kick it off with our Director of Communications and Outreach, Lauren Bell. And he's going to cue us up for the rest of the folks speaking today. So here we go.
Thank you everyone for coming. It's great to see so many people turn out for this event. As most of you know, this moment is almost 10 years in the making. Hundreds of events and meetings and farmers markets and festivals and info sessions, house parties, capital campaigning, Zoom Q&As, and all the rest. And for those of you who don't know and weren't around way back when, 10 years ago, this started initially as just a group of foodies and farm lovers from Maynard, but it has grown into much more than an initiative to open a community-owned grocery store. We have built a legitimate movement in Metro West Boston, a community of almost 2,000 co-op owners strong from Maynard and 40 other surrounding towns, dedicated to building a stronger, more equitable local food system and to shared values. And many of you joined for one or all of these, right? For sourcing from and supporting local and BIPOC farms and food producers, for decreasing our food's carbon footprint, for increasing access to locally sourced healthy food for all regardless of income, for building a thriving local economy, building a hub of community, and of course, bringing people of all walks together through something as universal and basic as food. This is our Assabet Co-op Market coming together behind us, where all are welcome, where local farms line the shelves, and where our community gathers for shopping, classes, and connection. And I can't thank all of you enough, and this is a thanks that goes out to everyone, right? This goes out to our board members, to our more than 1,900 local resident owners, to all of the volunteers who have spent countless hours out there recruiting new owners and spreading the good word about the co-op. This is our store, and it is open to everyone, and all are welcome. I want to just quickly go through the lineup here of folks who are going to speak. All of them you likely know already. We're going to have Maynard Select Board Member Jeff Swanberg, Representative Kate Hogan, Senator Jamie Eldridge, Co-op Board Chair Leah Ciappinelli, and of course General Manager Sam McCormick will come up and say a few words. But thank you guys so much for turning out and for all of your support, and stay tuned as we watch our store come together.
Good afternoon, everybody. How are y'all doing today? A little more. Come on, how are we doing today? Representative Hogan will get you warmed up as soon as I'm done speaking here. I'm Jeff Swanberg. I'm on the Maynard Select Board. Boy, what a crazy world we live in today. I know when I read the news, I'm stressed out by all the problems we have. And I was thinking more and more about how the solutions to those problems exist right here in this co-op and institutions like it. And so let me explain a little bit more about what I mean. First of all, we've seen over the last several decades an erosion of our local institutions as they struggle to meet the changes needed for the future to build the society we want. So it's fantastic to see something that is truly locally owned, that is community, and that is actually being built and growing today. So it's not a major grocery store that's reporting to shareholders who sit in New York or across the country. They report to you right here. This is your co-op, this is my co-op, I'm a member. They report to us. And it's the rebuilding of a local institution that we so desperately need that's going to make the decisions for us and for our future. And we get to participate in them a lot more actively because we are right here. We're talking to Sam, we're talking to Lauren, and they're listening to us. So that's number one. Number two, we're getting better food, and that is a foundational thing for all of us. I'm a big fan of the mantra from the Omnivore's Dilemma: eat food, not too much, mostly plants. And just to focus on that first one, what they're delivering to you, or what they will be delivering to you quite shortly, and we're very happy about that, is real food, healthy food. We know that when we have these more natural sources for food, that's better for us, and it's more flavorful, and it's more nutrition than the things that we're going to get that comes from a factory farm. And so we're fueling our bodies. That's going to give us the energy we need to go throughout the day when we worry about all those other stresses, when we step forward to do what we can do to handle them. And we're living in an era where we get many more years of life than we had previously. And if we want to enjoy those years of life, if we want to have good quality and stay fit as we get older, and if we want to stay mentally active as we get older, food is the basis for all of that. And they're delivering us healthy food that we can use for the rest of our lives. So they're making it more convenient, and that's going to be a great part of our future. And number 3, which Lauren mentioned, is sustainability. Right off the bat, if you're bringing your food in from a local source, you're cutting the supply chain. That's a much healthier move for the environment. That's a greener future for all of us and for our children and for our children's children. And if you want to see more sustainability initiatives, all you have to do is talk to Lauren, talk to Sam, talk to the management, talk to the board of directors. They're local people you know, so you can contact them and you can ask for more, and they will deliver because they want to keep you happy. All right? So that's that. But guess what? You already knew all of that because you're already invested in there. And so the next part's going to be up to you. They're already getting to work doing the demo inside. They're going to be building on that. And when it opens, it's up to you to come here, to shop, to be excited about it, to have fun, to tell your friends. And if you're not excited about it, tell Lauren, tell Sam, tell the board of directors. They want you to be excited, and they will make the changes that they need to make to get you into the store happy with the food and content they're delivering, and they are going to work for you. And they're right down the street. They live next to you. They're part of your community. They're part of our community, and it's going to be a great, great opportunity for all of us when this opens, and we're going to have this great market. So it's going to be fantastic. I'm going to turn it over to Representative Kate Hogan, who while thinking about food especially, she's done some fantastic work on local agriculture and farm bills, and I hope she'll talk a little bit more about that. But I almost feel like the work she's been doing over the last years has set us up for an opportunity like this, and it all dovetails perfectly. So I want to thank her, thank all of you for coming out, and I'll turn it over to Representative Kate Hogan. Let's get a big round of applause here.
Thank you so much, Deb. That was fantastic. You know, our select board here in Maynard, we are so lucky to have them. They are, and let us never forget, volunteers, and they bring such dedication, intelligence, and the ability to communicate. So thank you so much, Jeff. So hello to all the small business owners out there. It is so great to see you, and I know that you are part of a much larger group of people for this community-owned grocery. We are creating it from our Metro West residents. It will source and support our local food system, our economy, and our community. More than 1,900 owners from over 40 towns in this region. That is amazing. And also I wanted to mention and thank publicly Senator Eldridge, who'll be speaking after myself, who's earmarked $50,000 in the FY23 Senate budget. And that will be used to fund IT systems for the co-op. Truly a great move by our senator, who is always on top of what's needed in our districts. And about the new space, it is so well located. Riverside property in the heart of the Powder Mill Corridor, and that is the future. When we say Powder Mill Corridor, we don't mean this parking lot here where we're all standing in the sun and cars are whirring by. This is an idea that extends from Maynard into Acton, where we access our river as a part and a welcoming part of our community, and develop it to be a place where you go to do a lot of amazing things, including shop at your local co-op. So I want to offer a citation to the Assabet Co-op Market in recognition of the occasion of your groundbreaking event and celebration. This is from the legislature, including Senator Eldridge, and would like to present it to Sam. And welcome, welcome, welcome to Maynard and to our region. We have only got up, up, up from here. Thank you, everybody. And I would also like in this to introduce our Senator, Jamie Eldridge, who has done so much for our community as well. We are partners in everything, and it's always been... Jamie, can you come over quickly? Sorry, photo op, everybody. I know it's hot. Thank you, everybody.
This is just a moment that so many people have been waiting now for over a decade, and I really can't add too much to what Jeff Swanberg and my good colleague and great friend in the legislature, Representative Kate Hogan, have talked about in terms of sustainability, in terms of this really being a little d democratic movement, and how much the Assabet co-op market is going to give back to the whole region. And I'm so proud representing a Senate district, so many members throughout the Senate district that I represent that are shareholders, that are members, that have contributed to this market having the groundbreaking today. I would just add that in addition to the sustainability, in addition to the local farms and local food being able to be purchased and consumed here at the market, is that also the value of a co-op is better support for workers, higher wages, and that's really, really critical at a time where inequality couldn't be greater in Massachusetts. It's been a real pleasure to work with Sam McCormick. Sam has just done an absolutely incredible job managing a number of back and forth over location and a fundraising campaign that I'm told is the most successful fundraising effort for a co-op market in the entire country. So please give your hand for that. Related to that, and Representative Hogan was kind enough to mention, is that we did work together to secure $50,000 to make sure, not just $50, $50,000 in the budget for that IT focused on making sure that those that are less well off and have SNAP benefits are able to have the same access as anyone else. And as someone that has been deeply involved with the Acton-Boxborough Farmers Market, which also does a lot of outreach to those who are less well off, I've really seen how that model works. So I really want to express my appreciation to David Garrett, who's all the way in the back and has been an incredible leader. And just talk about the connections that have happened. So David is the one that pitched the idea of getting some funding in the budget. And then my good friend and someone who is a major part of the Cooperative Fund of the Northeast, Margaret Miley, who is here, was the one that found a vehicle to fund it. So Margaret, could you please raise your hand? And I want to also recognize Maggie Kahn, the director of the fund. Maggie, thank you so much. Board officer, okay. So I met Maggie, I don't know how many people here remember, there used to be a restaurant right here. It was actually sort of a club, which kind of made me laugh. But there was a club owned by a Boston Celtics player. Yep, JoJo. And one of the first fundraisers for the co-op was right here. So I just think that's wonderful. And going even further back in history, growing up in Acton and spending a lot of time in Maynard, I also remember that, of course, Victory Supermarket was here, and what a disappointment it was for Maynard residents to lose your only supermarket. So I'm so happy that the market is coming back in a much more sustainable way. But thank you so much to the Cooperative Fund, because without that early seed money, it really made a tremendous difference for this co-op. And just the co-op model, very briefly, is that the co-op model is so needed now, because with this rising inequality, you have developers, you have venture capitalists that are finding ways to purchase property, whether you're talking about housing, small businesses, land, that's really moving away from a little d democratic society. So appreciate the Cooperative Fund of Northeast work to provide support for co-ops like the Assabet co-op market. None of that would have happened without all of the shareholders, and I think we're up at around 1,900. So I just want to thank all the shareholders for joining, for contributing, and a joke that Representative Hogan and I have is that we were actually early shareholders. Remember that? At the Maynard Fest, and then we found out that in order to advocate for the co-op, we had to sell our shares due to conflict of interest. So we sold our shares. We were early shareholders, but in return, we helped deliver so far $50,000 towards the co-op. So I think it was a good deal. So thank you so much for investing in the co-op. I'm so excited when this opens. And thanks to the board, thanks to Sam, thanks to Lauren, and all the key stakeholders. It's an honor to represent this region and have so many forward-thinking residents. So with that, it's my pleasure to introduce the chair of the co-op, Leah Chapinelli. Leah?
Hello, everybody. I will just keep this brief because it's so hot. Even though I love this, I don't think most people do. Yes, 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 and yes to everything that's been said over here. This is an amazing, amazing day, and I've driven by this spot for years, and I want to just touch the building and say, this is going to be our co-op. It's awesome. Yes, clap. It's just, it's awesome. And you can, I think it's okay to touch the building. Is that, okay. So anyway, I won't talk much longer. I'm actually here inserted at this point to have the honor of introducing our amazing general manager, Sam McCormick, who has helped shepherd this along the way and has taken all the work of the boards before, the current directors, and all of the members and all of the contributions, and has taken it to this point, and we can't wait to see what's happening next. Sam.
Thank you for that introduction. I'm actually going to get, I will be the last person to speak, I promise. We actually have a representative from the owners of the property here, Jonathan Kaufman. He's going to say something really quick.
Thanks, Sam. All right, I didn't really prepare anything ahead of this, so I'm just going to kind of wing it. But what I did want to say is that, you know, you're not our tenant, you're our partner. And you know, as partners, we're here to work together and come together and lift us both up. And that's the way, you know, we couldn't be happier to be working with all of you. And together we're going to be very successful. So thank you.
Thank you, Jonathan. We are very excited to be partnered with the Kaufman Development Group with this project. It's been a trust building exercise over the past year. We started talking last spring, and we went through the painful experience of lease negotiations. They're just painful because attorneys are involved and negotiations and all of that. But then we prepared for going before different committees with the town. And for me personally, I think that's where we did a lot of work together. We got to see what we were made of a bit, and to see how we worked and how we accomplished goals, how we accomplished the things we said we'd do. So it's been a great experience, and I look forward to the 20 plus years that we have tied into that lease and to a long-term relationship that we're developing, right? It's exciting. And the cheers, yes, all of the cheers for this, right? So it's toasty. I'm going to keep it short and we're going to wrap it up. But I really appreciate the folks who are here representing us in the state Senate and in the House, just to have folks who are willing to go beyond our local and to really lift for us on the state level has been so important, to know that we have that support, and to know that we have the support of local boards and local support within the town has been amazing, right? And it's because we've done this work. You all have done this work well. That's what's gotten us here. It's what attracted me to the co-op in the first place. And David Garrett is guilty of roping me into this project too. And it's what brought me here. It's the well done work over the past 10 years. And I'm so grateful for all of you, the members of the community that make this possible. We are not possible without co-op owners. We're not possible without the community. And in the future is so exciting, right? Our goal is to have, if everyone knows, if you've seen a Q&A with me, I still refuse to say what our opening date is. But what we can say is the goal is to have construction wrapped up in November, and then we're gonna sit here and wait for the refrigeration to show up. I might put a tent out front and just wait for it. But we are actively working towards the goal that we've had all this time. And we have an amazing team working with us. I think we have some team members, so we're gonna do a fun thing. We have a silver shovel, so I'm gonna ask the folks who are here speaking, members of the Assabet Co-op board, if you're here, could you come on up? Members of our construction team, if you're an architect, If you're with RW Hyde, if you're with owners, come on up. And we're gonna do a fun photo because we have these milestones, right? We've had a lot of milestones over the past 10 years, but this is a big milestone. We don't have an excavator because we're not technically breaking ground, right? But we have this moment that we want to remember and we want to reflect on, that at this point, we incorporated in June of 2013. And here we are, just past June, we're in July, and 10 years later, and we are getting ready to build this space that we've been working so hard on. So I'm going to stop talking. And I'm gonna say, so we're officially, as of today, we're breaking ground on the Assabet Co-op Market, and someone needs to hold this up. Lauren, you can do it. There we go. And I would like to hear a big cheer, because this is because of you all and for you all. And if anyone wants to get a photo with the silver shovel, you can come on up here. Anybody who wants to come in, we have a wonderful photographer. Evelyn is here with us today. So if you want to pop up here, be part of a community photo, come on up with me and we can take a big photo all together. And otherwise, feel free to mingle and enjoy each other's company and get some water and snacks.